It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's our goal. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa. I am here back in the booth, ready for another show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. You guys are the best. As you know, we've been coming to the studio when we can as things are opening up here in California. It's very exciting. They actually said we're going to be fully back June 15th, which is right around the corner. I don't know what that means. But we're being careful and we're making sure that we've all got our vaccines, and we're very lucky to have a very talented individual with us today, Mikey Alfred. He is a filmmaker, which is how I got to know him. He actually cast me in his new movie, North Hollywood, which is an amazing film. He has an amazing eye. He's truly an artist. He started out filming skaters. He was a skateboarder, and he had this film and design angle to that whole life, and he was filming a lot of his friends and doing capturing these videos, and he just started meeting different people in music and all this other stuff, and he just is truly artistic and has such a great vibe. I really just became pals with him immediately, not just because he put me in a movie, which was a very generous thing to do, but we just kind of hit it off, and we both kind of have just a love for all things creative. And he runs a company called Illegal Civ. I don't know if he runs the company or is the company, but that's a good place to follow him on Instagram. And it's just the whole skate life and the whole thing. And he puts all of that into this great movie, North Hollywood, which is really, I actually got to see it. And, you know, there's films that are about different subjects, but that would be selling the film short, because you have to see it because of his eye. You have to see it because of the artistic manifestation of that world. It's just shot in such a great way. You just know he's going to be making a lot of films and a lot of stuff for a lot of years. So I'm very excited to have Mikey on the program today, and he's going to be here in the booth, and I brought him some treats, and can't wait to spend some time with him. Also, we're going to grab a quick bite with Marina Franklin, who is a dear friend of mine. She's so funny. She has some specials out now. We were on the road together when I was mostly when I was living in New York, and she's just one of the great comedy friends of my life from New York and the Comedy Cellar and that whole scene. And we're going to grab a quick bite with her. We're going to give her a call there in New York and see how they're doing over there. I know the Comedy Cellar is back open, so she's doing spots there. And this is all very hopeful. It's all very hopeful and all great stuff. So Mikey and I spent a lot of time together. We share a lot of good stories and good food, as you will see. And I don't want to spend any more time yammering away at the top, because I'd like to get right to it. And then we'll spend some time with Marina. So enjoy. Thank you for being here, and enjoy Mikey Alfred. Thank you so much for coming. This is very cool.
Thank you.
We have a lot of catching up to do, and this is exactly why I did the show, so I could sit with friends and share stuff and catch up, and also ask you questions that you never get to ask your friends when you're just hanging out. You're the first guest to show up with baked goods for me. Everyone always comes empty-handed, which I never thought that they were bad people until now. What did you bring?
I went to the Donut Hut
Nice.
in Burbank. Classic spot.
Okay, it's a classic spot.
My mom always told me, don't show up with your arms swinging.
It's a good way to put it. Nice. Well, this is bread that I baked, because I bake bread, and this is for you. That's
Whoa.
a powerful sourdough loaf for you.
Whoa.
The only caveat is it came out of the oven last night, so You're going to need to probably toast it. Maybe. They're usually better the next day. Like this kind of like matures and gets better. So you're in good shape.
Okay.
But you're going to need a good serrated knife and a bucket of butter.
Yeah.
And you'll be good to go.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, really?
I don't know what I was expecting, but that was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bake a lot of that. I got into it like 6 years ago, and it's become a bit of an obsession. As you can
Right.
tell, like the whole podcast is revolving around bread. It's taken over my life. Yeah. But it's like this cool little craft that you can just
100.
keep getting better at, you know?
I had just heard a story, the editor on the movie,
Uh-huh.
he is from Greece.
Uh-huh.
And he grew up in a little neighborhood there, and he said the local baker, the way he ran his business is he'll make bread. In the morning, he sets it out with all the price tags for the whole village.
Right.
Everyone comes and takes their loaf and puts their money into a bucket.
Uh-huh.
He has no employees. He's never there.
Never sees the people.
He comes at the end of the day. He looks at the bread. He looks at the money. If it's off,
Uh-huh.
he doesn't open the next day.
That's amazing.
So everyone just respects it because they
Yeah.
want their bread.
Oh, that's so great. What a cool... Oh, I have thought so many... Of so many scenarios of like how you could do a bakery. And there is this element to bread bakers where they don't really give a care about the public so much. They're not... It's really in the craft, and then
Exactly.
there's Tartine, which is like the legendary one that started this kind of like back to roots baking bread in San Francisco. They would only release the bread in this little bake shop, and from like 4 p.m. on is when you could get it. That doesn't make sense, right? I mean, people want bread in the morning; they want it, you know. But it was the only time you could get it, and it was so good that people just started lining up,
Right.
and
Exactly.
they came to the baker. That seems like a lot of bread people like run these quirky shops.
And I feel like the reason why is because in their actions, it's so in service of everyone else. If they were to be too like, okay, guys, like we're going to make it so easy for you. It's so perfect. It'd be like too much.
Yeah.
Like you still need that balance of like, I'm making the bread for you,
Right.
but I'm going to like make it hard. you
Yeah,
know?
but
You
I'm
gotta,
also doing it
like,
for me.
Totally. And that too.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah. Really great. So, so opening up like a small shop, because the baker hours are intense. Like if you do the thing where you just, you roll into the people at the donut spot, I guarantee you there's someone in that shop at 2 a.m. getting those donuts ready
For sure.
you to roll in at 6 on your way to the construction site. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
that's bakers' lives are hard unless you're a little arrogant. And then you can kind of call your own shots.
Totally.
All right, so the other thing in this box.
Dang, I love this starting.
Yeah, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
This is and also I knew I had this wine, but I got stuff to do. I didn't want to get drunk yet. The next one, when you come back, we'll do it later.
Okay.
And we'll drink. Do
Maybe
you drink wine?
I don't.
You don't.
I went to Italy right when we wrapped North Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Me and the producer.
Uh-huh.
And I've never liked wine. I always thought it was like disgusting. And I thought, okay, no, now we're in Italy. We're going to try it. It's going to be delicious. Thought it was still disgusting. So I'm trying to work on it. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, this isn't going to convince. This bottle won't convince you for sure. This is not a good representative of good wine. It's cheap table wine. But I'm glad we got the hot chocolate. And
Oh my
And just so
gosh.
our listeners know that I got a text from Mikey. I was almost at the studio, and he's like, "No on the coffee, but I'll take a hot chocolate." Son of a... All right. And I'm like, well, I am a host of... a good host would go back and get it. So I rolled back in. She's like, "What's wrong with the coffee?" I'm like, "Nothing. My friend doesn't like it."
He is a 6th grader. No, but I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, yeah, my pleasure.
And we should shout out the shop, maybe. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like, really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It has, like, a sweet... Yeah.
It's called The Ugly Mug.
The
It's here
Ugly
in
Mug.
Burbank. So this place is from, so we got the Donut Hut and Papa's Bakery, and then The Ugly Mug. And then here we've got, I saw an interview of you when we first worked together. And just so people know, I mean, there'll be an intro to this, so they'll know that we worked on North Hollywood together, and that's when we first met. But I saw it, and I was like, who is this young guy making this movie? Like, and then we met, and then it was like, oh, okay, I know why he's making it. And we'll get into all that. You're wiser than your years. But I saw an interview of you, I don't remember when. I think it was right before that. But you were talking about your love of The Godfather and The Sopranos, that you watched, like The Sopranos, like
A lot.
the whole thing, like multiple times.
Yeah.
So I decided, well, I would bring you cannolis because this is,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you know, from The Godfathers, it's that famous scene when
Right, of course. Of course.
the guy gets killed and he's like, grab the cannolis. The guy's shot in the back of the car and stuff. So this isn't a harbinger of bad things that are going to happen.
Totally.
This is but here's some cannolis. You can take these home with
But
you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no sweat. We're gonna both have diabetes after we go home.
Let me turn these toward you. So
Yeah.
You can actually get some donuts too.
All right, I'm gonna taunt you.
Yeah.
With the.
I'm gonna pop one out of the bag now.
Yeah, have it.
This is a box. Let's see.
So North Hollywood is it's your first full feature of you producing and directing and writing, and I mean you did the whole shebang. Like, you've produced things before and been in things and shot things, and we'll get to your history of how you started getting into filmmaking and stuff. But did you feel like when you were getting into doing North Hollywood that you had all the tools at that point? Like, you could, were you confident? Were you frightened? Because, you know, it's a big thing to actually make the big mama jama.
It's true. First of all, the cannoli is really good.
Is it?
It's really good.
All right, nice.
Sometimes people make them a little too hard.
Mm-hmm.
That one's soft.
All right,
It's
good. All right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got 3 of those, and then 3 of the chocolate. I don't know who
I've
you
never
live
had
with.
a chocolate cannoli.
It's a bit much. I like pretty plain. I like going a little simple. Yeah, like this donut here. That's pretty perfect. Yeah, solid.
Same.
Because when you started out,
Yeah.
and you started out, I mean, you wanted to get into film as a kid,
Yep.
and you were a skater, and you had skater friends, and you just picked up a camera and started. Was that pretty much how
Yeah.
it happened?
Yep. I had a Uncle Kevin, and he would direct a lot of live concerts. So like when I was a little kid, he had taken me to see like Alicia Keys, and I seen him in the control room pointing the cameras. You know, I'm like 5 or 6 years old. I never forgot that.
Yeah. Seeing him in control of it all.
That and is just being able to listen to dope music as a job.
Right.
And like all you got to do is, you know, capture it in a dope way. I always looked at that as like, what? Like, what are we doing at school and stuff, you know? Like,
Right.
that you could do that?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah. It is a funny moment, isn't it? When you, as a kid, when you just think of straight jobs when you're starting out, right? They're like,
Of course.
a fireman, a policeman, a doctor, and that's what you see in all the books and things.
Yeah.
And then you, at a certain age, when you were 5, it happened for me when I was like in 7th grade, and I realized that comedian was a thing. I had no idea that was like, oh, that he's my dad's age. I could do that. And he's telling jokes. Like, that's his gig? Yeah. It's hard to go to school the next day.
Totally. It's like, it doesn't even make sense anymore.
No.
For me. You know?
Yeah. But then when did you pick up your first camera?
Yeah, so it kind of started with my uncle. And then there was a guy named Kyle Adams. And he worked at a active skate shop in Burbank, actually, here where we are. And yeah, he used to let me borrow his camera. And it kind of started like that.
Because you were skating?
Yep.
You knew the shop, you hung out.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he's got a camera.
Yeah.
Everyone else wants new wheels.
And I'm looking like I want to film.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And it also became that thing of like, everyone starts getting good.
Right.
And you start getting hurt.
Right.
And after 3, 4, 5 times of being hurt, you're like, man, I really love this, but
oh, really?
maybe I'm not like in the right lane within it.
Right. I can't believe the amount of injuries in skate.
Totally.
It's such of course.
It's kind of similar to comedy, right? Where it's like a self-abusing thing. Mm-hmm. Like you go up on stage and if you bomb, it's like, it's a part of it. The same way you go out skating.
Yeah. And
you have days where you don't land one thing, and you're trying something for 6 hours or whatever.
Yeah. And you're just, but there isn't the sense of failure that there is in other things that you mess up. Right? Like you go up and you bomb multiple it could be a couple nights in a row and you don't, it hurts and you're messed up, but there's no part of your brain that says maybe we should stop. Right? You just kind of keep poking around.
Totally.
So you knew you wanted to be in the world, but you didn't want to break any more bones.
Right. So it just became filming, and then very quickly that starts to become like, if you film it pretty good, you're sending people their footage. You pull up, spots. Like I was always a filmer where I could be like, oh, you don't know where you want to go? Like I know some places, and I'm showing you places you've never been. Everybody starts calling you, and it's like, let's go skate. So as a kid, I kind of became that go-to person, like in first just the neighborhood, and then it's like the valley, and then kind of in LA, when people would fly in from New York or something, it's like, oh, there's a list of filmers that they call.
Oh, really?
And it's like, I became on that list, and it's like that kind of thing.
Really? That's so interesting. It's interesting that culture was trying to capture what they were doing, like early on. Like, what was the skate movie of the original guys? The
Z-Boys.
The Z-Boys. Like, there's all that footage. Like, they all just knew they were capturing something.
Right.
I was at the beach yesterday, and I was watching these guys skimboard into the waves. You ever see those guys? They like run from the surf.
Totally.
And when I was a kid in New Jersey, I had a skimboard, and it was like this table. It was literally like this big chunk of a thing, and you'd wait, and it had to be flat, and the wave would go out, and you'd get on the little water that's left, and you'd run and jump on it, and you'd ride for like 6 feet, and you thought you were pretty cool.
Right.
These guys were just
going into the wave, airing out,
flipping all over the place. They were probably in their 20s, late 20s. They weren't too young. Long hair, just total that surfer thing. And I was just watching these guys have a blast. And it's just everything from the skate world. It's all that whole Southern California thing. It is so appealing. Like no one's, you realize, I was thinking, no one's filming a 26-year-old in Ohio right now. And no one's going on YouTube searching what that guy is doing. But this thing, this surfing, skating thing, man, it's magical and appealing to so many people from all over the world. Why do you think it is? Why for someone that's kind of documented all of it?
I think there's this like really innate sense of freedom that comes along with those activities. And that's something everybody wants, like in their life, where it's like, you know, you fucking have to like work and do what you got to do. Yeah. Where in our world, you have to skate and you have to still be on it. Yeah. But like, you know, it's just a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It always seems like there's always like the scrappy kids, like you could tell like they came from like some troubled home or something, or like, or no money. They just had to like, I always picture like the dad's left and the mom's fighting with the new drunk boyfriend, and the kid's just like grabs his board and is like, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Like
there's definitely that. But the way I view skating is it's like it brings together people from any background. Right. Like through skateboarding, I've met
everything.
Like crazy from here to here.
Really?
Know? So and I feel like that's like in anything too, right? Like in comedy, when you say there's people who come from like, you know, it's rough, and then you know, there's just people from everywhere.
Yeah, but you know, I was thinking about that actually, because there seems to be no other than skill level, it seems like there's no class system in skating. Like there's no race, there's no wealth, it's just like, it seems like void of all of that, because it is so, just from the outside looking at it, it looks like just a mishmash of everything, and there, it's not even like it's a discussion, and like there's none of that really in comedy either, but everyone's talking out loud about who they are and what they are. So I think that's why lately there's, you know, people saying out loud, no, look at me, I haven't been represented, or look at me, this is from where I come from. There's like all of that kind of comes up, where in skating it seems like, because you're just physically doing it, I think it seems more free again.
Totally. Yeah. And it's like a activity where like with basketball, right? You could be such an asshole, right? But if you're fucking good and you put points up on the board, like, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. You know? Like in skateboarding, it's not like that, you know, it's not like basketball. Yeah. But it's a thing you can't even describe. But at the end of the day, you know, skating's like an activity you do. So you see someone skating, that tells you everything you need to know. Right. Right. And their whole background and all that. Yeah, it matters, because people's background matters. But yeah, it has that sense of freedom for sure, where you're not getting judged or whatever. Right. Right. You're a skater.
But I will say, and I don't know if you guys are prejudiced against them, but I don't see a lot of chubby skaters. I don't know if you kick them out, if they're not allowed in the park. Right. But really, they're all skinny. They're all in really great shape. Yeah.
And then the guys who were chubby seem to just always get skinnier.
Yeah. It's so funny.
And I think it's just through skating too, you know?
Yeah, of course.
It's a crazy workout.
Is it?
Crazy. Yeah. It's your full body. It's like swimming in that way.
Right, right. Oh man, watching those guys yesterday, they were just crushing it, and they were just so good. And then one guy said, it's not that I can't board sober, it's just that I won't." And then halfway through, they're like, "All right, let's go get some beers," and they took off, put on the show for everybody. It was like Olympic level stuff they were doing.
Totally.
So impressive.
Skating's in the Olympics for the first time this year.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Wow.
In the history of the games this year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense, right? I mean, the Winter Olympics brought all that stuff in, right? Snowboarding and all that kind of stuff.
Totally.
Do you know are you still really involved with that scene? Or
Yeah.
I mean, because so do you know like the top people that are going?
Yeah, so we released a video. It's called Godspeed, directed by Devontae Jolly. And one of the guys in the film's name is Zion. He's going to the Olympics.
Really?
It's a trip.
If you're just listening to this and not watching this, that was me eating a big piece of donut. I would have responded with something better.
How
It's
was
really
that
good.
one?
It's so good.
Yeah. That sugar.
Oh, just the sugar classic old-fashioned donut is, oh, so good.
I got, talking about old-fashioned donuts.
Mm.
You ever see that? The, like, waffle press?
Waffle press? No. What is that? It's like a maple glaze?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Really? We should just call this show Diabetes. Oh, wow. It's so much thicker.
Right.
Holy shit. Look how it just exploded all over me. Wow. So are you going to go to the Olympics? Are you going to go film it?
I feel like I should.
You should.
Yeah.
For real.
Seriously.
I know.
That is insane.
That's insane. It's totally insane. It's like it's covered in candy. Is why it's insane. It's a donut that's literally covered in a candy coating.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good. Well, Illegal Civ, you started that, right? That was your puppy. So you're filming stuff. You have a sense of style. You have a sense of everything, and you think, maybe this could be a media company. This could be a clothing company. This could be just a.
We started it. So, in like 5th or 6th grade, we made a skate video called "The Spark of Life." We premiered it at Active with Kyle Adams and all those guys.
Yeah.
Literally, like, just the people in the video came, then like our parents.
Yeah, of course.
And the next day, we're sitting in the homie's backyard, like, all right, what's the next skate video gonna be called? We ended up calling it Illegal Civilization. At first, that was just the name of the video. Then that kind of became the name of our crew. So it's like, oh, I see.
Right, right.
And then we started to make T-shirts that just said, I see. And then it's like we'd give them to the kids at the skate park who are in IC.
How cool.
And then it just would keep growing from there and there. And as I got older and I kind of wanted to try more stuff, it's like I directed a music video for an artist in Rex Orange County.
Oh, yeah.
When it came out, it like blew up, and right now it's 60 million views or something. And then
Which one? What song?
It's called Sunflower. Rex Orange County. And then we did another video, and it did well again, and the artist was able to get a deal, and it became clear, like, okay, I have a little ear.
Right.
So then I was able to do some stuff in music with IC.
Wow.
Then, like, same thing with the movies. It was like at first just skate videos, then it was making music docs. So I would tour with these different musicians in high school.
Right.
Went on tour with Odd Future, Tyler Creator, Frank Ocean, all these people.
Right.
I make videos for them, behind the scenes stuff. That started growing into touring with a bunch of different musicians. And then I did mid-90s, where I was the producer, did Ballers, where we acted on the show, 3 episodes.
Right.
That was cool. Kind of took all of that experience, with music, skateboard culture, film, and poured that into North Hollywood.
Wow, that's great.
Yep.
And that was my first question that
Totally.
that I asked, because it really feels like that. Like, it feels like when you look at it seems like a very organic. It doesn't seem. It just feels like it's your life. Like, it just feels like, oh, this is just, you know what I mean? There's people that show up and are like, I'm going to make a movie now. And it's like, all right, well, what tools are you bringing?
Totally.
Yeah, because when I said before that you seem wiser than your years or older than your years, you on set is a calm and a confidence that, I've worked with a bunch of people, and it's only like the best who've been around for a long time have that kind of a thing. There's a lot of frantic, there's a lot of, oh no, there's a lot of, there's a lot of that. And you don't have that because you made your first one in 5th grade.
It's true.
God.
And I appreciate you saying that. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great to be around. I mean, the first time when we met, we had coffee before you were kind enough to put me in that film. I just walked out of there like, oh, I'm going to be friends with this person because he thinks like I do. He's just creative and wants to do things, and just had such a great vibe. And it was like, yeah, it was, walking on the set was like, yeah, that's exactly what you'd expect. It would, the same guy that was having juice in the morning. So how did you get to, when you say like I just started making music videos, Frank Ocean, Tyler the Creator, were you friends with these people first, or did
I met them through my friend Nakel, and at first they had seen my skate videos.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, I like the skate videos. I can see that you take it serious too, because I would put them out a lot and I was consistent.
Yeah.
And then it became like, just try to film some vlogs, like lifestyle.
Right.
And when I would film it, they just liked how I would keep it organized, and if they wanted it, I'll send it quick, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just got a good reputation, like,
right,
as a hard worker.
Right,
so
right.
people would hire me.
Right. And didn't you go to school? Didn't you tell me a story about you went overseas, right?
So no, when I was a really little kid,
right,
I went to Columbia in New York University.
Columbia, that's what it was.
And,
in my mind, I picture you on a plane.
Right.
Right, because there's right.
And did like a film class, and hated it.
Right.
Yeah.
And why did you hate it?
Just because it was like...
I'm sorry, how old were you?
I was 12.
12.
Yeah.
And whose idea was it to go to Columbia to film?
So my mom, she was Robert Evans' assistant for 34 years.
Right.
And
right. Legendary.
Legend. And I had told my mom in 6th grade, you know, they tell you at my school, St. Charles, they would say, write down what college you want to go to. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, you know, like, no, because I'm not going to go.
Right. And 6th grade.
Yeah. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because I like to make videos.
Right.
I don't feel like I need to do that. And they're like, you know, what are you talking about? And my mom sits me down with him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, so you like making videos? I'm like, yeah. He's like, would you want to go and do, you know, a film class, video class?
Is he wearing sunglasses?
Yeah, of course. Of course. In the house.
Was he kind? I'm sorry to interrupt the story, but just I want to see like
the best.
You as a little kid.
The best.
Because he's so cool and he has such a thing.
Super, super kind.
He's super kind.
Like crazy.
So as a kid, you're comfortable and
chilling.
And he's probably talking to you like you're 25.
Yep.
Right?
And the way we're sitting, it's like you're right here at the head of the table, and then he's right here at the other corner of the table. Uh-huh. So he's not trying to make you feel like
right
we're sitting mad far, you know?
Right. Or you're coming to talk to me at the head.
We're right here, you know?
Right. Wow. Did he have kids of his own?
Yeah, he had one kid, yeah.
Okay.
Josh.
Okay.
Josh. Him and Allie McGraw.
Oh, right. Oh, man.
Legend.
Jeez. And you're just sitting there at his table and you're like, I want to make videos.
Yep.
And what does he say to you?
And it's like, you know, yeah. So I go out there and my parents go with me on the first day.
No, but wait, but he says to you, you should go to take this class?
Yeah, go to Columbia.
Oh, go to Columbia specifically.
University, do the film class.
Okay.
And it's like 4 kids.
Like a summer program?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, you know, I go with my mom, do the check-in, you stay in the dorm and all that.
Wow.
And throughout the whole program, I ended up just leaving as early as I could every single day and going skating.
Really?
And I made a video.
Were you uncomfortable?
Man, for me, like class, I don't know what it is. I just couldn't do it.
Right.
There's something about like being institutionalized from a young age that just always bothered me. And, you know, I had family who dealt with that too. And maybe it's some of that, you know, where it's like subconscious. You don't even realize it.
Right.
But
what, that they didn't want to be in school?
Just don't want to be like in a building with the windows with gates on them and looking at this person talk to us about whatever it is, you know? It's just, I don't know, man. School is I'm just not wired for it.
And even though it was film,
Still.
it feels like class.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you'd split and go skating?
Split, go skate. And I'm glad I went, though, because it kind of gave me that experience to know that I did not want to go there and pursue my life in that way. And I'm really lucky because I had people around me and my parents and my family who fought me a lot on it, obviously, but also after a while let up, you know, and
At what point? And I'm asking this as a father.
it was gradual.
Yeah.
You know, at first it'd be like, you can't go skating, and then it's like, okay, you can go skate. And then, okay, you can only go on weekends though. Okay, now you can go every day after school.
Because they just saw that you weren't letting go. You were passionate about it, and
It was happening.
yeah, it was happening. Right.
We
I'll
can
wait
either
you out.
fight or you'll stop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I'm not changing. This isn't an option. You're just, all right, fine.
Totally. And
I just, a friend of mine is a mother, and she said that she posted something like that she wants to write a book like, fine, whatever, as long as I don't have to drive you. It's like, it's
true.
that. Your kid wears you down.
it's true.
And you're just like, you know what? I can't do it anymore. I can't fight with you anymore. Just as long as I can go to bed and don't have to pick you up.
Right. Right.
But did it make you question?
Yeah.
I mean, he says go to Columbia. It's Evans. He knows film.
Right.
He says go to Columbia. You go, and it's not for you. Do you think, shit, this might mean film's not for me?
I wasn't able to even view it in that way. I was so like zoomed in as a kid. It was just like, I wasn't feeling that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It was just like,
It was just like, nah.
right. That's
That's not for me. The class part.
right.
Going to class, it's like, that wasn't for me.
Right.
And that was kind of where I just stopped with it.
Right.
It never made me think like, that's how everyone in film is going to be or think or whatever, because even within skateboarding, it wasn't like I just found my tribe the moment I started, you know what I mean?
Right.
You have to take a second and like,
Yeah.
okay, within the big scheme of what you're trying to do, like where
Right.
do you fit in? Like where do you find your people, you know?
Yeah.
So I always had that belief of like, I could do film.
Right.
It just might not be like taking that certain path
Right.
to it.
Well, yeah, you had to have, I mean, you've been shooting stuff already from 5th grade to you go there. I mean, you've had the experience. You know how to make it. You know
and
it's...
then I would see my uncle. And it's like, he didn't go to some school, and that's why people are hiring him.
Right.
They just like his work. He knows people, and it happens, you know?
Right.
It's like,
Right.
I just viewed it in that way, kind of.
Yeah. Which is really true. And it's but like as a father,
Right.
thinking of my kids saying, no, I'm not going. It's a tricky thing to be like, okay, because when you say, I mean, the thing that was different with you is that you obviously had a passion for something. Like there was like a,
100.
right? So it's not like you're saying, I'm not going to school, but
Just for
I'm just
nothing.
getting high in the yard.
Exactly.
So I think that would probably make your mom feel pretty good.
And it was a second Evans combo too that really helped. Where you know, he didn't go and do school either.
Right. Yeah.
He was working and trying to make it happen from a young age as well.
Yeah.
And he just kind of had a combo with me like, look, in whatever it is you're doing, you have to be studious. So he's like, when you go to college, half the people at college are fucking around.
Right.
They're not even there doing their homework and passing tests, and like,
No.
they're there just being, you know, living
Yeah.
and partying or whatever.
Partying, yeah.
And he's like, that's true in whatever it is. So he's like, whatever you're about to do, there's going to be people who just fuck around and wish, and then there'll be people who really are like, they're studious about it and they figure out ways to make it work for them.
What a great thing to hear.
And it was just like, damn. Yeah.
But doesn't that also, it probably gave you some kind of relief?
It did.
Because it takes that abstract out of like, why does it happen for some people? Like there's that kind of, especially in the arts, because you see people that are just, it seems so airy and fun and whatever. But when I heard similar thing of like, no, there is a way to work at this.
Totally.
It kind of like it made me relax. Like, oh, okay, because I don't think that like going to a bar until 4 a.m. every night and hanging out with other comics is doing it for me.
Totally.
Really.
Totally. And it makes it to where, you might look in the mirror and be like, okay, like this is how I look at it at least. I'm not like some crazy looking attractive guy. I'm not like buff and, ripped or something. But I know I'm gonna work hard.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. So
yeah.
If it just takes that and, working smart too.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And knowing what you've got some talent in what you're pursuing. So then you're just putting the work on top of that. It's and
that too, it can't be second nature.
What do you mean?
Sometimes like people will be like getting into the arts and it's too hard for them. They have to like overthink it, and it's like,
yes,
it still should be natural though.
Oh, 100%.
Like it's not for everyone.
No. And if you're thinking about it too much of whether you should go into it, you shouldn't go into it.
100.
Really? Like,
for real.
It can't be like, well, maybe I'm thinking about trying to. Nope. Because it's gonna be too hard. It's gonna be too hard. There's gonna be so much.
And you're gonna hear too much no.
Yeah. Constant no. God. So let's talk about that with the no, because you made this great film and now you're in the process of getting it out to the people, and everyone you've put it up in front of, you've screened it for people, and from Tony Hawk on down to kids probably bumming in the valley are really turned on by it. And you've been trying to get it distributed during COVID and all of that, which I'm sure is a tricky thing. I don't even understand that part of the business really. And now you seem like it's starting to come out, like you're starting to release it.
Yeah, we tried to take the traditional route. Keep burping from that hot chocolate.
It's so funny because the thing that really makes me burp is donuts. I don't know what it is. I think it's the grease. It must be the grease.
Right.
But I'll feel a donut for the rest of the day.
But yeah, we tried to sell it the traditional way. First, we tried to make it the traditional way. No one would put the money up or do anything like that.
You went and pitched it as a script?
Yeah, we had to figure that out. We did. All good. Then we tried to sell it the traditional way. Couldn't figure that out. All good. We got the opportunity to screen it at the SoFi Stadium. We said, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, how did that happen?
The stadium's opening. So this was their first public event.
Oh.
And they wanted to do a drive-in. So they collaborated with Family Style Fest. Family Style got all these amazing restaurants, Serving Spoon, Simply Wholesome, John and Minnie's,
wow,
et cetera, et cetera.
What's Family Fest?
They're like a drive-in movie festival that started during COVID. Yeah. And
cool.
They hit us up like, would you want to show North Hollywood? And we're like, let's go.
Wow.
They put the tickets up on Ticketmaster. They sold out all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we did the screening. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Freaking a bunch of dope people came. And now we're going to put it up on our website. Let that go for all of April. And then in May, put it up on like Amazon. All that other stuff.
That's so great. I mean, this is it's so great because I mean, just the trailer is like it's a no-brainer. It's got
Appreciate
I
that.
mean, it's shot so well. The style's so great. There's so many great, youthful, energetic people in it that people know. The music is great. What's his name? Who plays the dad?
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn's in it. I mean, come on. It's a no-brainer. But yet, you get the thing made, you're happy with it, and you're hearing no's. You're hearing no's. How do you process the no's? Because you obviously don't accept them. Is it like a, or is it a, all right?
Well, in the process, it was a, because I just didn't get why it was happening.
Right.
But then the lesson kind of learned through it was like, who cares? Mm-hmm. You tried your best. Move forward.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Move forward
In terms of like, you can think larger than, hey, you know, traditional distributor, can you release my movie? No. Dang it. You know, it's like,
Right.
we can think a little bigger than that and go, okay, you know what? No sweat.
Right.
We'll go figure it out.
That's great. Because,
Totally.
I mean, that is really, it's a lesson in two ways. It's a lesson in that that's just resilience, and you have to kind of always do that. But it's also this kind of new way that you can approach projects and stuff. There's the old way when I was coming up was you went to NBC and you said, I have this thing, and they say, that's great. And then you work on it, and then they say no, and it's over. And there's nothing you can do about it. And those days are over. Everything that you said,
true.
it's like, okay, I'll knock on the door where I'm supposed to knock, but then I don't have to kind of play by those rules because there's other ways to do everything now.
Totally. And especially if the door's not going to be opened.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly. Because, I mean, you had to feel... Were you nervous the first time? I was going to say you had to feel pretty confident because you know that you've got something because of the response of the audience. What was it like the first time you put it in front of a real audience? Were you nervous? Or had you lived with it for so long?
Not really nervous.
Yeah.
For me, it feels more like I've done what I could with this project and with this piece of creativity.
Right.
I feel like I expressed some stuff. And now I'm just hyped to like put it up, and I hope that in your life it makes you feel good.
Right.
Makes you get away from whatever you're going through for an hour and a half. And
Right.
I'm already thinking about my next idea, you know? So
Right.
if you love it, I thank you, appreciate it. If you don't like it, that's cool too.
Right.
It's all good, you know?
Yeah. And I always have a problem with shifting gears because I feel like I'm taking the mojo off the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're thinking about your next idea, and when you and I did that electric car thing together, we had some time because that was like a gap between, and you were already talking about the next one that you're thinking about and moving on to. And do you have a feeling like, do you need to keep your psychic energy still pushing that thing that you made?
Up to a certain point, yes, 100%. You have to have that full tunnel vision focus.
Yeah.
But then once you get to a more last quarter, fourth quarter part of the journey, you start to overwork it and overproduce it, and you're overthinking, and it's like, as a filmmaker, it's easy to get to that place, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you're like,
because it's endless.
it's just like there's something every day. And I feel to not like choke the baby that you just birthed, your movie.
Yeah.
You need another project that you can like really tunnel on, and the movie can like breathe.
Yeah.
And start to walk and start to talk and start to scratch its finger. You know, you don't want to be like that overprotective parent on the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always feel like that second project helps me be a better parent to this film.
Right. Because there is that, I mean, I do too. I spread myself pretty thin with all these different things. And all of a sudden, I do reach a point where it's like, should I just be bringing all this power into one thing, you know? But you don't really have that liberty a lot of the time. You just got to kind of react to these different passions and kind of keep them going, but
Totally.
then you end up ignoring some. It's interesting. Films are very interesting in that even like some of the ones that we love, nobody really started loving them until 10 years after they came out.
For sure.
I mean, what a weird, they're like these living things, aren't they? They're like, what is it that all
It's
this?
the most like powerful art form.
Yeah.
It encompasses everything.
Everything.
Fashion. The pen.
Right.
You know.
Music.
The art of acting.
Yeah.
The art of performing. It has so much.
It's all of them. Every single element. Oh God, it's really true. That's why everyone wants to be in them.
Totally. And that too, it's the ultimate like mark of humanity, because movies get remembered in no matter what country it is. They have the movie library. It's like such a dope way to kind of stamp
I know.
an era and time, you know, with a film.
Completely. I know. Yeah. I gotta drop this comedy thing.
Appreciate this.
Yeah, cheers. This water, I just got turned on to this water by my friend. This water apparently is famous water. It was on 60 Minutes. It's this Italian water that's supposed to be Fiuggi, Fiuggi. And people take it to make sure that they don't have kidney stones, like it'll dissolve kidney stones, and people say that they like live forever because of this. And the one side note is my buddy gave me a bottle of it before my second vaccine and said, you know, you're supposed to really hydrate. And he's like, hydrate with this and you'll be fine. And 24 hours later, I was under my covers shivering. So it's not really magic, but it's supposed to have these qualities that are, and it's really tough to get. So, yeah, we're going to feel good after this.
Okay, Fiuggi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice. So you're always, how much time do you think about your own clothing and your own style? Because you've got a very unique style. It's totally you. I saw today you came in rocking a pocket watch.
Yep.
And I had a pocket watch. I think it was right after college. I don't know. It was around, whatever it was, it didn't work. I tried it for like, I couldn't hook it to my belt. You have a patience about your style, I would say. Otherwise you wouldn't be wearing the sweaters.
Totally.
In the summer in the valley.
Right.
Did you always just have an aesthetic?
I appreciate the style compliment. I always viewed clothing as like a extension of kind of expression since I was young. So I would always make my own clothes, what I see. In high school, we had an office in downtown LA where it was 2 rooms. So the front room was my friend's clothing brand, FTP. And then the back room was Illegal Civ. And I would only rock my clothes, his clothes, or other people that we knew. So I was always trying to push everyone to like, make this, because I want to rock it.
Right.
And yeah, man, I just always viewed fashion as like, that's art too.
Yeah.
Facts.
I always go back and forth with it because I like to dress. I like to, you know, I have a certain style, especially on stage and stuff. But then there's like, I have this, you know, Dave Hill, he's a comedian. Dave Hill, he's also a musician, really very creative guy, has this very unique style. And we always talk about keeping your style in the down times. And not the down times of like the culture.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Quick run to the store.
Totally.
Which we both have our limits. Like we both don't really own shorts except for when we go to the beach. Flip-flops aren't in. there's certain like rules like we won't allow ourselves to break. But then there's like there is that that thing of like you could go further with all of it. Like you could just
Totally.
you know what I mean? Like
There's a line for me as well.
Because it is a thing. Like it's
for sure.
Right?
For sure.
It's an effort.
Totally. But there's also like an effort in restraint. And there's like a nod to someone who can show some restraint with their style.
What do you mean?
Just meaning like sometimes you'll see someone where they have the colors and they went crazy and it's like, yeah. But there's also a compliment to be made when someone is understated.
Right.
You know,
right,
it's like you have to look a little closer,
right,
to kind of know,
that
they are, dripping.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know which one I fall in.
Yeah,
but, just as an observer, I can always give that compliment when someone has the like more subtle style.
Yeah. There's a really thing about it's really just a it's. There's a I think one of the things that's appealing about it. When people do it right is that they've matched who they are to what it is, right? Like there's that like, I have friends when I'm in New York, I'm always wearing hats because it was always just cold out and I have no hair. So I was always like, I was always rocking fedoras and people would always come up and be like, I can never, they look good on you, but I can't, I can't wear a hat. It's like, but I had done it so long that it was just a part of who I was and what you know what I mean?
Totally.
And then I would have a friend that never wears a hat and puts a hat on, and he all of a sudden seems like out of, you know what I mean? It is kind of like it's almost like a conversation with yourself of what.
Totally.
Right? Of
totally.
What, yeah.
And you get dressed to like express, importance of situations. It's a whole like another way to communicate.
Yeah. I was at the beach yesterday when I was watching the surf guys, who by the way were well into filming it too. Like the one guy just takes his phone out, which has been in his board shorts the whole time, and he's taking and racing down with like an inch from his buddy and filming him doing the whole thing. Yeah, he was good. And there was this girl who was talking about style. It was like, they were like, college age. And she just had everything out. Just like this gigantic cratered moon ass and this big belly with just like this tiny, tiny top. And it was just like, all right, good for her. Just like... It was so funny. He was like, yeah.
And I love that too.
Yeah, right? It was just like,
do you?
Yeah, exactly. And there were some other people, like there was an older couple over there making comments about her behind us. Like you hear all those little beach conversations and they're like criticizing her. Like, embarrassing yourself at the beach like that. And she's over there playing that whack-it game, just like screaming, ass hanging out. But that's her thing, I guess.
Yeah. And then, oh man, that's a whole another conversation. 'Cause I try my best not to wear like flip-flops out.
No.
No. I'm not sure if I've ever had the toes exposed.
At a pool.
If
you're in a hotel, and you're walking from the room to the, but stopping in the. And I always get uncomfortable stopping for breakfast and then going to the pool. It's like, oh really? I'm gonna have flip flops in a restaurant. Yeah, no, we can't. I feel like we have to, like, for the good of mankind. Someone has to not wear flip flops somewhere. My daughter said to me during the pandemic, I don't think I've ever seen you in sweatpants before. And she wasn't saying it because she saw me in sweatpants. She just saw me in jeans again or whatever.
It was just like,
she was
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen you in sweatpants. She's 19 now. Yeah. She's like, I've never seen you in sweatpants. Yeah, don't own them.
Right.
Why? I don't know. They make me feel lazy. It's sloppy. I don't have them.
Totally.
But then I looked at, and then I saw.
I love sweatpants though.
Well, there's a total different. This is white New Jersey guy, sweatpants, gray, pull the string, and then you see like World Cup level soccer players wearing sweatpants, NBA wearing sweatpants, an Italian team rolling in it. It's like, oh, okay.
Right. Damn.
And I guess they're joggers or something of Italian sweatpants. I guess they don't call them sweatpants though. They call them like work. And that's like a whole different thing. Yeah. That's like, okay, those.
Right. Look at them.
But you got to keep them fresh because
that's 100% true.
Right?
They can't get swampy.
Exactly.
Totally.
No.
Totally.
You can't be just all, yeah. You can't be all worn out and, there's nothing wrong with a V-neck T-shirt if it's fresh.
Right.
And it starts the collar up and stuff, and you still think you're doing it. You're not. You're not anymore. It's kind of an unfortunate, but you don't get many wears out of that stuff. Mm-hmm. No, you can't be just like, no, these are my Italian things. I bought them 5 years ago. They're still good. I'm like the Italians.
No toes out.
No.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah. No toes. No toes. All right. So before we go, everyone's going to see North Hollywood. It's happening. It's going to spread. How deep are you into working on the next project? And is the next project the film, or is it something else?
So
I'm sure there's multiple things, but
there's a TV idea, and that's really all I want to say.
Okay.
I've never been able to do it in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had a TV idea, and I've gotten close a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But this time, because of North Hollywood, I feel like I have a different experience. And I'm just going to try again and see what happens.
All right.
But
no more no's.
Right.
Yeah. All right. That's great. And is there anything you want to ask me? Because we're going to go back to our regular life, and you're not going to be able to ask any pointed questions.
Totally.
We're going to have to go back to our surface relationship.
I want to make sure I ask the tough one right now,
Well, it doesn't have to be that either.
So you said put this in a toaster?
Yeah, slice it.
Toast.
And just toast it. Yeah.
Butter.
Slice it. You'll get rid of this. You're not going to really eat the
booties.
Yeah, the booties. And but you can. What I do is I'll slice that and then take like a tiny little baby slice of that just to see how it tastes. And see how it tastes without toasting. It'll still be soft and good, but throw it in a toaster and just throw some butter on it. You'll be in good shape.
A little olive oil maybe?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot of different things. Yeah. You can go olive oil. You can do a little avocado toast. You could grill some cheese on it. Mm-hmm. A little avocado, some lemon, salt and pepper.
Maybe a little red cracked pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Top it off.
Yeah.
Spice.
You know what you're doing. Yeah, you'll get several days out of it. But you need a good serrated knife. Don't be intimidated.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
It was really fun. And
I'm sorry you have shitty friends. That sucks. I'm the first person to bring you something.
Yeah. It's it says more about you than it does about them. All right, that is it. Mikey Alfred, I told you, cool guy and generous. Let it be noted, he is the first guest on Breaking Bread to show up with treats for me. Very interesting. Very interesting. He might be the youngest guest that we've had, but a true gentleman. What does his mom say? You don't show up with your arms swinging. What a great, great line. And thank you, Mikey, and thank you for the donuts. And A great guy. All right, now let's get on the phone and grab a quick bite with Marina Franklin.
Marina.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm good. I was worried about you because we were going to talk the other day, and then you fell off your bike.
Oh, yeah, I did. Well, I was, yeah.
What?
I think I'm a daredevil sometimes. I was parallel to the sidewalk.
Oh.
And then I thought I could just, like really fast go, and no.
Well,
and
you
I fell.
tried to like jump the curb like one of the cool kids?
I could jump the curb sometimes because I am a cool kid. But on this particular day, I didn't do the math right, and I knew it as I was doing it. I was like, why are you making this wrong move? Why are you doing it? And then a guy stopped his car and got out and picked me up, and it was hot, and I'll do it all over again just for that.
Oh, Lord. I seem to have fallen off my bike.
Most action I've gotten in a long time. I was happy.
Oh, I miss you.
I miss you.
I haven't seen you in so long, face to face. It might be a year.
Oh, yeah, I think it's more than a year.
Good Lord. That's crazy. Well, you're performing at the Comedy Cellar again, and you motivated me. I'm looking at flights as we speak.
Oh, the CDC says maybe you shouldn't fly, though. Have you seen that?
No. When did they say that?
They go back and forth, man. They don't, commit. They're like, my ex.
Yeah.
It's like, which one? What do you want? Are you going to, what is it?
Why are you hanging around? Why are you teasing me?
You want me to fly or you not want me to fly? Because they're saying, yeah, but nah. And so it's kind of like they don't know. I mean, they're saying, what's happening is they're seeing the numbers going up.
Yeah.
And they can't really explain it. And then there's that other variant that is out. It's called one's B-52 or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I just call it B-52. But it's like a new variant. And so they're like, well, we kind of don't know. That's the thing. They cannot say that because I guess that makes them look bad and it puts fear in people. But that's what they're saying. They're like, we kind of don't know, but you can fly. But now everybody's flying. And they're like, well, we didn't mean everybody get on the goddamn plane.
Oh, jeez.
And so my friend from Ireland is like, she was going to go home for her birthday. She goes, Marina, I was going to go home for my birthday, but, it was the one thing I wanted to do. But if I go to Ireland, I've got to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
And the flights, everybody's coming back from Ireland, and they're jam-packed in the planes. They're like sardines. So there's no way I'm going on the plane. I know that was a horrible accent. I went in and out.
Good.
Was that good?
Impressive. Yeah, that was really good.
Kind of Scottish a little bit, but
No.
it did with a little Scottish tone to it.
I think you nailed it. Well, I don't care. I've got my vaccine. I'm all ready to go. I want to see your face. I want to sit at the Comedy Cellar and eat wings or nachos. I have to come.
Oh, yeah, the wings, man. Everyone's talking about those wings. I want those wings. I've been wanting those wings, but I'm a vegan now.
What?
Yeah, I'm a vegan. I had some vegan wings last night that pissed me off.
Why?
They were so nasty. Oh my God! I tried to lie to myself the whole time. I was just eating it like, yeah, this is disgusting.
This is like wings.
Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see their town, and also it's like this. The first moment back. No one saw me fall off my bike, so that was good.
Right.
But I did go in, and immediately I got this big hug from SD, and that was the biggest moment, because I haven't felt a hug in a long time. And by the way, I'm not hugging a lot of people. I mean, I will hug SD, but yeah. I gave Wally Collins a side eye when he tried to come for his hug. And then Colin hugged me, and Wally was standing there like, wait, where's my hug? And I was like,
You don't make the cut.
I was like, well, he took his hug. And then Colin was like, she likes white guys. I go, well, I know. I started dating brothers again. I date black men too. And then Colin was like, she does like black men. She likes white men more.
What was the guy who helped you off the curb?
Oh, I don't know. He was like Middle Eastern or something. I think that's the direction I'll be going in soon.
Yeah, like a mix.
Yeah, I mean, I can do pretty much, I can do other colors.
Yeah, change it up a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, I could go brown.
Oh, yeah. Do you have the double vax?
I have. What do you mean double vax?
Double vaccine.
Oh, did I have? Is it complete?
You have 2 shots.
Oh yes, 2 shots. Because the Johnson & Johnson, that's the ghetto one. That's the ghetto vaccine. That's what
where
I
they just give you one.
I mean, look, it's all good. I encourage everyone getting what they can get, when you can get it. But yeah, I feel much better. And there's a story about a woman recently. It just came out today, not to scare you, but, she got the virus on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine 2 weeks or 3 weeks out.
After she got the vaccine, she got it?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. But there's the thing. What people don't really understand is you won't die from it. So that's not a story that anyone should be putting in, and I actually shouldn't have said it. I'm sorry. But the thing is that the point of the vaccine is that you won't die from this virus. So, look, I'm like a scientist at this point with this shit.
You really are. I know.
I'm the worst. Really. Everyone's like, don't talk to Marina. She's crazy. But I am.
She has all the facts.
I have all of the facts.
All right, well,
I talk to all the professionals.
Well, Dr. Franklin, can I get on a plane in May and come see you?
In May, I think you should know more information. So I would say that May is a good estimate. Is that a right word? Wait, no. Yeah. May is a good time to travel, to kind of say, let me just wait and see.
Right. Okay.
That's a good time, because by that time the CDC should figure out what their feelings are about everything. Do you love me? Do you not love me? What's going on?
We'll know. We'll know if they're still going out with us or not.
Yeah, because by May they'll say, because I saw a letter today. They were like, well, we said you should get up, but not really. And then now the stories are coming out like, what would the CDC person's family do for vacation?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. What would Dr. Fauci's daughter do?
Oh, God. It's like we're back to last February.
Yeah. So.
Boy.
But it's gonna be fun to see you.
I know. I'm coming. I don't care what the CDC says. I'm coming. My feelings are clear.
Oh, well, that's good, Tom, because, and then getting on stage is also it feels great.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do a show this weekend.
Oh, you are? Where?
Yeah. Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. Oh,
yeah.
It's been a while since I've been there.
I know. I'm excited.
Tons of steaks and...
yeah, you won't be a vegan if you get back to Omaha.
Well, I don't know. I was never really a steak girl. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh.
Unless it's a really tender. I know we used to go for those steak dinners. You never knew that about me. The whole time I'm sitting at the table, I was like, I kind of want to tell everyone I'm not really into this, but I'm into them.
You did a good job. I never knew.
Oh yeah, I mean, I liked the whole presentation at meat places. They make salads nice. The potatoes better. They make the potato all sour cream and all that. But I can't have that either.
Oh no.
I'm one of those vegans where I was like, oh, that's right, I can't have that.
Yeah, after you're halfway through the dish.
Oh. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tom. I have a deep dish Chicago pizza in my freezer right now.
Filled with cheese?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm saving it for a rainy day. And today is a rainy day.
Yeah, you should do it. I give you permission.
I got to first lose weight, though. That's the thing. I got to lose like 5 more pounds before I can eat this pizza.
All right, you're the best. Be careful on your bicycle. Stay alive until I can get there.
Okay.
I gotta go. I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye, Tom.
Marina?
Uh-huh. Hello?
I feel bad.
Why? What happened?
Well, it seemed like you wanted to keep going, and then you texted me and you were like, "What do you mean it's over?" And
oh no, I didn't realize you were recording that. That's what I meant. I was like, that was the way. There was a part midway through. I was like, oh.
Oh, something tipped me off that this is an interview. All right, I just didn't want you to feel like you got shorted or anything.
Well, I did want to keep talking. You know, I love to talk. But the thing is, I was like, is this the interview? I was like, should I cook? Should I be banging pots in the background? What's happening?
Yeah, it's just a phone call with my friend. It's okay.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm recording this. Right. I'm recording this too.
No.
Yep.
You're kidding.
Nope. I'm gonna record every conversation we have from now on.
That's illegal.
So
I think some crazy things when I'm not thinking about it. All right, cool. That was funny. When does that go up?
It'll be this week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
You're the best.
You're the best.
All right, that's our big show, everybody. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Make sure you like and subscribe. As always, give us reviews, lots of stars, lots of things. Let us spread the word to keep this podcast growing. And I love that we're able to come into this space and do it and share. And this is exactly what I wanted to do. I was actually thinking, when we had Mikey, it'll be cool too when we add another person. How cool would that be? We have a couple guests at the same time who have never met, who's sitting in here. All things for the future. Thank you so much again for spending some time, and we'll see you next time.